BuckeyeHuddle.com, Southern Swing continues. We've made it out of the state of North Carolina. We're down here in the greater Atlanta area, down in Georgia, Peach State. Deuce Geralds, longtime Ohio State target, defensive lineman. Deuce, how are you doing today, and how's spring going for you?
I'm doing great. First week of spring coming to the end. It's been great. New team, new year, coming in, getting that work in, and getting ready for the new upcoming season.
You're a veteran now.
Yes,
so,
sir.
how do you kind of process the spring versus maybe when you were a freshman or sophomore? Do they limit your reps a little bit, or you still full go?
I don't let them limit my reps. I still want to be full go. Feel like, I'm basically an old dog, but I still want to feel young. So I want to go out there and still feel young, like it's still like a freshman, because it came real fast. I mean, we could go back. I've been doing these interviews since my freshman year, upcoming sophomore year. So it's just been like, it just came quick. So it just feel weird. It actually does feel a little weird having been like really the commander of the defense right now and the veteran. Like, since I've always been a young guy, starting on varsity since a freshman. So it's a lot.
You keeping those young guys in line?
Yeah, I'm keeping them young guys alive. I remember when I was the young guy that had to keep in line. So it's crazy to look at now.
You and Tyler Atkinson, I think, are competing right now for most Southern Swing interviews. We've been coming down to see you for years, it feels like, and same with we'll see Tyler later. But yeah, you guys are usually, it's like maybe definitely once, and then maybe twice, like maybe before junior, maybe before senior year. But you've been on the radar for a while. So, you were back up at Ohio State this spring.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you've been there a while. I don't think we need to any new revelations or anything like that. But how was that visit?
I really got to get to connect with the new DC coach Matt Patricia. That was really great talking to him with his resume of being in the NFL for years and years. So it's just been great being around him and getting to meet him and his new philosophy. Well, not even new philosophy, but like the way he's going to run the defense and the attitude and the the attitude that he's having with his defense. So the mentality he has, I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm gonna keep I plan on OV in them, so it's gonna be real great, go moving forward.
Yep, we'll get into your OV stuff here in a second. With Coach Patricia, he seems to be. I think when he came in from the NFL, a lot like people like myself were wondering how much he would get involved with recruiting. But what was your impressions just talking to him? What kind of guy is he, and just your first impressions of him?
He's really he's not a big ego guy like you would expect, for him coming from the NFL and being in the NFL for years, and really his first time in a while, I think, for being in college. So it's really great. That's really great. Getting to meet him, and actually when he first within the first week of him having the job, he hit me with a FaceTime call and let me know that he watched my film and he loved the way I played. And he wants to make sure I'm gonna be a Buckeye soon. So that was really great talking to him and getting to know him.
This isn't a trick question. It's kind of an honest question. Have you had more interactions with him than you had with Coach Jim Knowles when he was at Ohio State, or how is that?
I'm not gonna lie. So with Coach Jim Knowles, it was great. I had a great relationship with him, but it's Coach Patricia. He brings more of almost like a young, excited energy. So it's really it was really great for that change. So Coach Patricia, the conversations I have with him, it just feel just more happy and exciting. Than Coach Jim Knowles, it was always I'm not taking him down at all, but it's just they just got different attitudes and different ways of the way they talk and speak.
Gotcha. Coach Johnson obviously has been driving your recruiting process. I'm assuming things are still going well there. Just how are you feeling about Coach Johnson these days?
Me and Coach Johnson relationship still holding strong, and also since with the parting of Coach Allen with this assistant job, they brought back Coach Patrick, who was there when my first time ever being in Ohio State. So that relationship is back, and they brought Coach T-Dub in from he was he was back at UCLA when he recruited me. So. Yeah, that's just great, getting back with him and building that relationship with him again.
So, a lot of familiarity there. How does that help you? I know, Coach Johnson's going to be the guy who kind of really drives it for you, but how much does it help having maybe some of these other guys that are working with the D-Line that you have, established relationships with?
Yeah, that's just, great, just having, making sure you have eyes on you at all times, at all angles of the field, and getting coached up by 3 really great D-line coaches. So, it's just I just know that I'm going to be developed there, and I'm going to be being looked over and just being coached up at all times, and I'm not going to be able to take plays off or take reps off. So that's just great.
Mentioned your official visits a minute ago. where do you stand with that? You said you know when you're going to visit Ohio State. If you're willing to share that, and also the other schools you're going to take official visits to.
Yeah, I'm planning on taking official visits to Ole Miss, Oregon, LSU, and Ohio State, and I plan on taking my Ohio State official visit on the June 20th through the 22nd date, which is like the last OV date of the summer. So that's when I plan on taking the OV to Ohio State.
Now, does that just work out that way that they were the last visit, or was that strategic?
Coach Johnson, he has a philosophy of the way he wants to recruit, and his top guys, that's where he wants me. That's what he let me know that, like, he let me know that actually, like, a while, like, around the time where he had first offered me, he always wanted to know and make sure that he had that last OV date, because that's where he wanted. He let that be known, like, way early in my recruitment.
So you obliged him, and you made it your last visit. Okay.
So, yeah, kept my word with him. He kept his word, so that's what I'll be moving forward with.
Yep. So Oregon, obviously, they got a thing with Ohio State right now. It's been really exciting to watch that as they make their way into the Big Ten. What are your thoughts on them, and just what about Oregon has you intrigued?
Yeah, Oregon has, like, the trend they've been on has been upwards with Coach Lanning and that defense and that just a complete team. He's doing a great job with them, and the way he's carrying that team and the way he's holding them up and that standard that they are, like, just trending upwards right now is just really great. I love what they got going on over there, and, like, I'm getting recruited by them also very hard, so they in the race with me with those other teams also.
It's probably interesting watching those two games this year then,
Yes,
watching them kind of go at it. LSU, what interests you there? I know that's been a long time school for you. They've been in there a while, like I think really since about Ohio State.
Yeah.
What continues to have your attention there?
Well, LSU that's where I'm from, Baton Rouge. I was born there and moved out to Georgia when I was around 8 years old. So it's just, that's my hometown school. Like, still have grandparents, aunts, uncles down there. So it's just like that's just like a competing in what they're doing over there football wise. Is LSU. Like, LSU's been great over the years, been a blue blood of the SEC, won national championships, produced NFL draft picks. So that's like just a high team on my draft board. I mean, not draft board, but recruiting board.
Yep. So something interesting there. I don't know how much you keep in contact with guys who maybe aren't from around here, but Blaine Bradford commits to Ohio State. One of the top safeties. He's from Baton Rouge. Have you talked to Blaine at all? Do you have any? Okay.
Actually, I met Blaine on an LSU visit.
Okay.
So that was I think it was the LSU Bama game this past season. That's when I met him. We follow each other on Instagram. We hit each other up every once in a while. So, and I think the day after was the day I got up there to Ohio State for this spring when he committed. So I congratulated him on that, and that was just great seeing him commit as a Louisiana alum.
Were you surprised they were able to get a kid out of Baton Rouge?
Yeah, that was really surprising. Like, I thought a lot of times Baton Rouge kids really like staying in Baton Rouge, staying there in their home and like that familiar area. So it was really surprising for him to commit to Ohio State.
Yeah, Ole Miss is the other school that you're going to take an official visit to. Kind of just missed the playoff last year. Lane Kiffin, obviously head coach there, and is doing a good job there. What do you like about Ole Miss, and what's kept them in it?
Ole Miss, I really look forward to still getting recruited by them. My dad actually played there with his collegiate career, so it's just I have the opportunity to be a legacy there. So that's really great. That's what I'm looking forward to with them, and with Coach Joyner. Started his career up under Coach Johnson at Ohio State. So it's just he's moving the drills and the stuff. His philosophy at D-Line is really, really modeled after Coach LJ. So it's just really great with them. Ole Miss, they on the trend upwards. Also, they're getting closer and closer to what they want to achieve, and they working for it. So that's really intriguing me about them, and we look forward with them also with my recruitment.
You've been on, we've talked about, you've been on the radar for a while. So, you're a veteran of the recruiting process at this point. But still, these official visits kind of hit a little different.
Yes, sir.
What's going to be important on these visits for you? And, for someone who's seen all these places so many times, it may seem like it's going to get old. But, there are some things you probably have to look for, right?
Yeah, I'm looking for somewhere I could get developed. And, so I could be developed as not only as a football player, but as a man outside the field. I want to make sure that I'm taken care of for the rest of my life. Whatever I go to college with my education outside of football-wise, setting me up to be a top draft pick in the draft. and just be a man to my children, wife, be a husband to my wife, and be a father to my kids later on in life, and somewhere I could be an alumni that comes and still connect to the program later on, even after football. So that's what I'm looking for in all the schools, and I'm also looking for just like I said, development, that alumni base somewhere. Like I'm just gonna be like where I'm gonna make plays, get on the field, handle my business, and somewhere I could just look forward to for the next 4 years.
So here's a question then. Decision time frame, because I know a lot of guys are doing the June visits to get it over with before their senior season start. Is that what you're trying to do, or what's your thought process right now?
Right now, like for me, I think it's just God's time and God's plan for me. So I really don't have a set date. I'm really looking forward to getting it done by like August 2nd. But if that's not the time for me, then it's not the time. I feel like God will let me know when it's time for me to commit and let me know where I want to go. So until that time I feel is right, and that'll be the day I'll commit.
So commitment date August 2nd, definitely, no matter what.
But that's what I'm looking forward to today.
Put you on the spot a little bit. Is it just going to be a feeling when you're on the visits? Like just as far as that goes, because you mentioned you want to get it to August 2nd, but the schools, it's up to the schools to make it, that a possibility, or give you that feeling, I guess, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah. So it's just like the stuff that I'm looking for. Whoever school can execute the things I'm looking for into a college and to a football career there. That's what I'm gonna look for them to execute on these official visits. So I'm gonna be paying attention closely. I'm gonna be recruiting them more than they recruit me, more than they think. So that's what I'm just really looking forward to and trying to get at.
Was that just like the top T-shirt on your, like in your dresser or whatever this morning, or what?
It's crazy because I actually didn't know y'all was coming, and I've been wearing.
She didn't answer my text.
Yeah, I know. I didn't check my Twitter in time. So I've been wearing a different college every day. So I think Monday, I forgot. I think I wore Florida State yesterday, or Oregon. I wore Ole Miss, and I wore Oklahoma on Monday. So, and then today was Friday, I decided to wear some Ohio State gear, and y'all came in at perfect timing, so I guess it just meant to be.
There's some Ohio State people around the school, like your trainer.
Yeah, my trainer went to
Ohio State. Your principal, right?
Yeah, my principal ran track at Ohio State.
How much propaganda are you getting from these people?
Man, they when I walk around my any other gear, they give me some stuff about it. They got something to say about it. They don't like it. They got something to say. They always looking for the Ohio State stuff. So. When I went down for a Michigan visit not too long ago, they did not like that. They gave me a real bad side eye when I came back to school. So, yeah.
Well, let's wrap it up with this though. Like obviously you've been to Ohio State a lot. Just what has kept you returning there? Why has Ohio State been such an appealing school for you, and being able to kind of just have staying power throughout this process for you?
It's really like another big part of my what I'm looking for is a team that I can win a championship with. So obviously Ohio State, the reigning national champs right now, just won a national championship. So like the trend on is upwards. Also, they have steadily produced D-Lineman with Coach LJ being there. So it's just like Ohio State is a blue blood. It's a top program at whatever time with whatever coach. So it's just like that's what I'm looking forward to. They've produced great D-linemen, great players, all around. So that's what I'm looking forward to with them.
All right, Deuce, we appreciate you doing this once again.
Yes, sir.
This is our annual spring tradition. I don't know. We'll have to fly down here and meet us here where before your next year of college or something. But good luck here this spring with your teammates, and best of luck on your official visits. All right.
Thank you.
All right, man. I'll talk to you soon.
Yes, sir.
Yep.